Hi, I'm Sandy from Scissors in the City. I'm going to be making this Christmas ornament. The things you need to make the ornament, it's a Katy Sue design. They're a company from the United Kingdom. So you need your kit, some adhesive, scissors, pencil. I used a tweezer, and I did use some pins to help with the ribbon. To begin, we need to punch out the 1B. It's the image of Santa kissing the reindeer. And also this red ring, it says the extra matte layer. We're going to use that also. So we'll take our disc and we're going to place the disc on the red ring, and we're going to trace around it because it's a little too big. And then I'm going to make a little mark on here, and then along with the mark here. So I have a little mark on my styrofoam and then also on my ring. And I need to trim that right on the line is good. You don't need to cut it smaller than that. And I can still see my little pencil mark there. And then that was on this one. Grab a different pen so maybe we can see it better. Nope, that doesn't show. There we go. And then this is trash. So I have my mark there and mark there. Then this one, so I'm going to use the opposite side. I have my Santa. Now, there's a lot of dimension in here and here, so I don't want to center this. It needs to be about even with the bottom. And then this is the only dimension, but his reindeer or his antlers are also there. So I have the bottom matched up. I don't know if you can see that. There's just a slight amount of trimming we need to do. So I'm going to trace around my disc again. And this time I put 2 little dots there and 2 dots there. So this one I have 2 and 2. And then trim this. Okay, and that's trash. Okay, now we'll set these pieces aside and we're going to work on our ribbon. So because these marks are going to be covered up, I'm going to move them to the inside now. So I have one there and then 2 on that side. And we need our adhesive. And we're going to put some adhesive. That, and then we're just going to wrap our disc with the ribbon, smoothing as we go. want to overlap about an inch. I do have some straight pins here. I'm just going to press that in just to help be my holder. Then I need 8 more inches, which is about there. I'm going to wrap around and put those 2 ends together. And I'll place that one in. And then I want about an inch. Cut that there. And so this I will adhere also. You don't have to adhere the whole flap, although you can if you want. Put a little more there. And then I cut that. I don't know if you can see, but this was cut on an angle just to make it look a little nicer. And then we're going to set that aside. And let that dry a bit while we work on the other pieces. So we have our Santa, the big Santa. And this is a dimensional piece, so we need to put number 2 on next. So we'll punch out number 2. And there's also a little spot here that needs punching out. So do that very carefully. And then there's also a spot between the antlers. Then you need dimensionals. Placed a couple up there, so they were too big. And go ahead and remove the liner sheet. And then place that right over the reindeer and the Santa. Oops. Well, come on. Can I get it lined up? There we go. And then we'll take number 3 and we'll do the same thing. So we punch it out, add dimensionals, and then put it on the top. We'll take off the liners. He will go on top of the Santa. Okay, now we have number 4, which is his sleeve. And his, what is that, that's hat, and the greenery on the bottom. And we're going to do the same thing. And you just overlap the pictures. Arm on. And then 2 more. We have his cuff and his collar. So we're done with the layering, but we're going to set that aside for now and bring our disc back in. And I'm going to bring my oval in. And that is actually going to be in the wrong spot for me, but so I'm going to punch out the inner circle and find my one line, and we're going to glue that in place. So it's going to go approximately like that, and that looks good. Press that down, and then this is the top, obviously, so I will put some adhesive on the back of this and put that in place. I didn't get adhesive up there. Needs a little. Before I put my other Santa on, I'm going to tie my ribbon on top of my bow. So I'm going to go around this loop, and I am going to remove these eventually. Tying bows, you either love them or hate them. And then I liked the shiny there, so on the back side I'm going to flip it around so that I pull out the shiny again. That didn't do it. Press it down to the disc. And I'm going to trim my tails. Make them pretty. And now I can take this, and it's going to go about like so. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back. Take our design, and then where it's not, where it's flat on the disc, I'm going to press down. Oh, and I can take out those pins. And there it is. Hope you enjoyed making it. Thank you for watching.